In 1975, Ed decided that the only way in which the tournament could and would succeed would be if Loyola parents were involved in it. That year, a tournament committee consisting of parents, former parents, alumni, and Loyola staff members was struck. The work done by this and subsequent committees was instrumental in seeing the tournament grow from 3 teams in 1971 to 38 teams and close to 700 student athletes today. The tournament has become truly a school-wide event, and the weekend that Ed Meagher always looked forward to most is now enjoyed annually by hundreds of students, athletes, and volunteers. In 1996, the tournament was appropriately renamed the Ed Meagher Sports Tournament. While Ed Meagher never won the tournament behind the bench of his beloved Warriors, he did get a chance to hoist the coveted championship trophy when his visiting St. Andrews team won the tournament in 1978. Incredibly, it took a Loyola senior juvenile hockey team 26 years to win its own tournament, only 2.5 months after Ed Meagher had passed away. Those in attendance that night in January of 1996 could feel the spirit of Ed Meagher at that tournament, as Loyola teams went on to capture gold medals in 3 of the 4 basketball and hockey finals. When the juvenile hockey team paraded around the ice with the championship trophy adorned with Ed's Notre Dame ball cap, the players and fans in attendance knew that Ed was still there with them in that rink that night. A rink that had for so many years been his home away from home. It was only fitting that Concordia University, of which Loyola College was one of 2 founding institutions, renamed its rink the Ed Meagher Arena on January 28, 2000, at the opening ceremony of the 30th Annual Ed Meagher Sports Tournament. Ed Meagher's legacy lives on in other visible reminders of his life at Loyola. Hanging from the rafters of the Ed Meagher Arena is his hockey sweater, number 11. At each opening ceremony of the annual tournament, the Ed Meagher Scholarship is presented to the Loyola student athlete who best exemplifies those characteristics Ed himself possessed: sportsmanship, commitment, and fair play. Every fall and spring, the Loyola soccer, rugby, and football players play on the well-manicured Ed Meagher fields. Trophies in his honor include the Ed Meagher Distinction Award for Outstanding Contribution to the annual sports tournament and the Concordia University Ed Meagher Trophy, presented annually to the student athlete who best combines football and academics. Sylvain Girard, star receiver for the Montreal Alouettes, was a 2-time winner of the trophy during his football career at Concordia. One of Ed's last initiatives at Loyola was the sports wall, which overlooks the gym on the school's 2nd floor and which depicts 100 years of Loyola athletics. The final, and perhaps most poignant symbol of Ed Meagher's legacy, hangs beside the stained glass windows in the school cafeteria. The Loyola Centennial flag, which draped Ed Meagher's coffin, a symbolic reminder of his spirit's presence in our midst. In August 1994, when Ed Meagher learned that he would be facing the toughest battle in his life, he was determined to continue the man-for-others character that he had demonstrated through his lifetime at Loyola. Despite ill health, his enthusiasm for the school's centennial celebrations saw him take on the task of chairing the Centennial Celebrations Committee, which organized the Centennial Gala at the Windsor Hotel and a Centennial Mass held at St. Patrick's Basilica. While he passed away before either event was held, those in attendance could see and feel his involvement in the planning process. Ed Meagher's final mission on Earth was the Student Teacher Centennial Days project. It was his dream that every Loyola student would spend the week prior to March break participating in activities outside of the school. It was only fitting that the people Ed devoted his entire life to, his students, would be at the heart of his final mission. The Centennial Student Teacher Days were a huge success, as students participated in exciting trips across Montreal and Quebec, and as far away as Florida, and of course, his beloved Notre Dame University in South Bend, Indiana. Ed Meagher loved Notre Dame for its Irish roots and its football tradition. He dreamed of attending the University of Notre Dame and sitting in the stands as a student to watch his favorite football team, the Fighting Irish. In the fall of 1991, Ed Meagher realized this dream when he took a sabbatical from Loyola to enroll for one semester in a pastoral studies program at Notre Dame. On November 7th, 1995, at the age of 69, Ed Meagher succumbed to cancer in room 626 of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. While his death caused great sadness in the community, the lineups spilling outside of the old college chapel at his wake 2 days later were a fitting tribute to a life well and fully lived. The following day, Friday, November 10th, Ed Meagher left the Loyola campus for the last time. His funeral was held at St. Patrick's Basilica, the same church in which his parents had wed and where he had served as an altar boy some 60 years earlier. 1,500 mourners, both young and old, people whose lives he had touched for more than half a century, came to bid farewell to a legend. Ed Meagher has left a legacy of excellence for everyone in the Loyola community to emulate. A legend in his own time, Mr. Loyola's presence will be with us forever.